The sun dipped behind the ruined buildings of Fallujah, casting long shadows over the war-torn city. Sergeant Daniel Hayes adjusted his helmet, his fingers trembling slightly as he gripped his rifle. The weight of war pressed heavily on his shoulders. He had enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps with a sense of duty, but now, after months in Iraq, the lines between duty and survival blurred. His squad moved cautiously through the narrow streets, their boots crunching against debris. Each alley was a potential death trap. Civilians peeked from behind shattered windows, their expressions a mix of fear and hope. The war had stretched on, leaving scars on both sides. "Stay sharp," whispered Corporal Rivera, scanning the rooftops. The enemy could be anywhere. Snipers, IEDs, ambushes. Fallujah was a battlefield unlike any other. A distant explosion sent dust and smoke into the air. The squad tensed, their training taking over. Hayes motioned for them to move forward, his heart hammering. They had orders to secure a suspected insurgent hideout. Intelligence suggested that a high-ranking militant was inside, but nothing in war was certain. As they neared the target, a child ran onto the street. A boy, no older than 8. His clothes were tattered, his face streaked with grime. He held up his hands, speaking rapidly in Arabic. Hayes didn't understand the words, but the desperation in the boy's eyes was unmistakable. "Sir, what do we do?" Private Simmons asked, gripping his weapon tightly. Hayes hesitated. The boy could be a decoy, a distraction for an ambush. But he was just a child. He raised a hand to signal a halt. Before he could speak, a shot rang out. The boy collapsed. Chaos erupted. Gunfire burst from the windows above. The Marines scrambled for cover as bullets ricocheted off the crumbling walls. Hayes dragged the child behind a burnout car, but it was too late. The boy's lifeless eyes stared into the sky, his small body still. Rage boiled inside Hayes, but there was no time for grief. He barked orders, his voice steady despite the storm inside him. "Flank left. Suppress those shooters." The squad moved with precision, returning fire. The insurgents had the advantage, but the Marines had training and determination. One by one, the enemy fell. Finally, silence settled over the street. Hayes exhaled sharply, his body aching from tension. The hideout was secured, but at what cost? He knelt beside the fallen boy, his hands clenched into fists. This wasn't just another mission. It was another life lost in a war that seemed endless. A soft cry reached his ears. A woman, the boy's mother, emerged from the shadows. She collapsed beside her son, wailing. Hayes stepped back, the weight of guilt pressing against his chest. He wanted to say something, anything, but no words could undo the tragedy. That night, as the squad regrouped at the base, Hayes sat alone, staring at the bloodstains on his gloves. War demanded sacrifices, but it never prepared a soldier for the ones that cut deepest. As dawn broke over Fallujah, Hayes steeled himself for another day, another mission. But deep down, he knew the echoes of this war would haunt him forever.